My wife has Alzheimer's. Every day she falls in love with me. Every night she forgets. It's 6:47 a.m. I know because I've been awake since 5:30, lying next to my wife, watching her sleep. In about 13 minutes, she's going to wake up. She's going to open her eyes, see me, and have no idea who I am. And for the 1,428th day in a row, I'm going to introduce myself. I'm going to tell her my name. I'm going to explain that we've been married for 32 years, and if I'm lucky, if it's a good day, she'll believe me. My name is David, and this is what it's like to love someone who can't remember loving you back. There, she's stirring. I can see the exact moment consciousness returns. Her eyes open. For one beautiful second, there's nothing, just the peaceful blank of waking. And then the confusion hits. She sees me, a stranger in her bed. I watch the fear register. Every morning, I watch my wife of 3 decades look at me like I'm an intruder. "Good morning, sweetheart," I say softly. "Keep my distance. Don't crowd her. Learned that the hard way." She pulls the blanket up to her chin. "Who are you?" Her voice is small, scared. God, it never gets easier. "My name is David," I tell her. "I'm your husband. You're safe. You're home." I have a system now, a routine. I show her our wedding photo first, point out her dress, the flowers, the way she's looking at me in the picture. "That's us," I say. "June 15th, 1992. You wore your grandmother's veil. It rained during the ceremony, but you said it was good luck." Sometimes she studies the photo. Sometimes she cries. Sometimes, and these are the worst days, she gets angry, accuses me of lying, of photoshopping, of being a con artist. Today, she just looks confused. "I don't remember," she whispers. "I know," I tell her. "That's okay. That's not your fault." But here's the thing nobody tells you about Alzheimer's. It's not her fault, but it feels like grief anyway. Every single morning, I lose her again. Breakfast is next. I make the same thing every day. Scrambled eggs, toast, orange juice. Consistency helps, the doctor said. Routine provides comfort. So I make the same breakfast I've made for 1,428 days. While the eggs cook, I sort her medications. Morning cocktail, donepezil for memory, mentantine to slow progression, citalopram for the depression and anxiety that comes with losing yourself. Insurance fights me on every refill, as if watching your wife disappear isn't expensive enough already. I bring the tray to the bedroom. She's calmer now, got dressed while I was cooking, put her shirt on backwards, but she's dressed. Small victory. We eat in silence mostly. She's watching me, trying to figure out if I'm safe, if she can trust this stranger who claims to be her husband. I've learned to narrate my movements. I'm just getting more coffee. I'm going to clear the plates now. Simple, non-threatening. Sometimes, on good days, she'll ask questions. "How long have we been married? Do we have children? What's my name?" Today, she asks, "Am I sick?" And I have to decide, do I tell her the truth, that her brain is destroying itself, that she's forgetting how to be herself, that every day she loses a little more? Or do I lie? "You're okay," I say. It's a coward's answer, but some truths are too cruel for breakfast. After breakfast, I take her through the house, show her the photos, tell her our story. That's our daughter, Emma. She's a teacher now, living in Portland. That's our son, Michael. He's a nurse. Got your kindness, your patience. I point to a photo from our honeymoon. That's Greece. You made me try octopus. I hated it. You laughed for an hour. I'm a tour guide in my own life, narrating a love story to the woman who lived it with me but can't remember a single chapter. And the cruelest part? Sometimes she smiles. Sometimes she looks at these photos of us and says, "You two look happy. You two," like she's looking at strangers. We got the diagnosis 4 years ago. She was 52, too young, everyone said. as if there's a right age to lose your mind. She'd been forgetting things for months, little things at first, where she put her keys, what she had for lunch, then bigger things, missed appointments, got lost driving home from the grocery store she'd been going to for 20 years. I convinced her to see a doctor, early-onset Alzheimer's, aggressive variant. The neurologist gave us statistics, prognosis, timelines. I heard none of it. I was too busy watching my wife's face crumble, too busy watching her understand that she was going to forget everything, including me. The first year was bargaining. We tried every treatment, every clinical trial, every supplement some website promised would help. We made memory books, did puzzles. She fought so hard to hold on, wrote herself notes everywhere. David is your husband. You live at 2347 Maple Drive. Emma and Michael are your children. Our house looked like a ransom note. But Alzheimer's doesn't care how hard you fight. It just keeps taking. Year 2, she stopped recognizing our children. Michael came for Christmas and asked who he was. I watched my son's heart break in real time. Year 3, she forgot my name, started calling me the kind man. Year 4, now, some days she doesn't speak at all, just looks at me with confused eyes and waits for me to tell her what to do. I do everything now. She can't shower alone, might forget how to work the faucet, might slip and not know to call for help. I help her dress, choose outfits that are easy, elastic waists, slip-on shoes, no buttons. Buttons are too complicated now. I comb her hair. She used to love her hair, spent an hour on it every Sunday, curling it, styling it. Now she sits still while I run a brush through it and doesn't recognize the woman in the mirror. The doctors call it total care. I call it watching your wife become your child and hating yourself for resenting how hard it is. Some things still work. Music, sometimes. I play the songs from our wedding. Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra, Elvis, her favorites. Sometimes she'll sway a little. Sometimes I'll take her hand and we'll slow dance in the kitchen like we used to. She doesn't know why we're dancing, doesn't remember our wedding, our first dance, the thousands of times we danced in this kitchen over 30 years. But her body remembers something, muscle memory deeper than whatever this disease has destroyed.
Those moments when she's moving with me, even though she doesn't know me, those are the moments I tell myself it's worth it, that she's still in there somewhere. At night, after she's asleep, I watch old videos, birthdays, holidays, random Tuesday afternoons. I watch her laugh, watch her tell stories, watch her be the woman I married, the woman who did crossword puzzles in pen, who could quote entire Shakespeare plays from memory, who never forgot a face or a name or a kindness someone showed her. That woman is gone. She's been gone for years, but her body is still here, still breathing, still waking up every morning and looking at me with empty eyes. And I don't know which is crueler, that she's lost herself or that I have to keep meeting the stranger who replaced her. I haven't worked in 3 years. Can't leave her alone. Her savings are almost gone. Alzheimer's care isn't cheap. Home health aides cost $25 an hour, and insurance covers almost nothing. Our kids help when they can, but they have their own lives, their own families. This is my life now. Cook, clean, medicate, repeat. Make sure she eats, make sure she's safe, make sure she doesn't wander out the front door and forget where she lives. The neurologist says I'm burning out, that I need respite care, that I can't do this alone. But how do I leave her with strangers? How do I trust someone else to reintroduce themselves to my wife every morning? How do I explain that she needs patience, gentleness, that she's not being difficult, she's just terrified? Not every day is gentle confusion. Sometimes it's rage. Sometimes she's convinced I'm an intruder, a kidnapper, a threat. She screams, throws things. Once she hit me. Not hard, she's small, frail now, but it broke something in me. Because she wasn't hitting a stranger, She was hitting the man who's dedicated 4 years to keeping her safe, keeping her home, keeping her dignity intact. I called Emma after, sobbed into the phone. I can't do this anymore. My daughter, my beautiful daughter, who inherited her mother's strength, said, "Dad, no one expects you to." But that's the thing. I expect me to. The social worker came last week. Nice woman. Too nice. She showed me facilities, memory care communities, they call them. Soft lighting, secure units, trained staff. She talked about quality of life and professional support and taking care of yourself, too. She gave me brochures with photos of elderly people doing art therapy, laughing with caregivers. Made it look gentle, made it look like mercy. Mr. Harrison, you're doing an incredible job, but you're one person. These facilities have 24/7 care, activities, socialization. Your wife would be safe, and you could be her husband again instead of her caregiver. Be her husband again, as if I've stopped, as if love is something you can clock out of. I visited 3 facilities, toured them, smiled at the directors who promised dignity and compassion, watched residents sitting in wheelchairs staring at TV screens, watched staff members move efficiently from room to room, checking vitals, distributing meds. They were kind, professional, everything they promised, but they weren't me. They didn't know that she hates the feeling of socks, that she needs her left side of the bed, as she calms down when you hum Moon River. They'd learn, probably, but would they care? Or would she just become Room 14, the early-onset case, another name on the medication chart? I keep thinking about a conversation we had years ago, before all this. We were in bed, talking about getting old. She said, "Promise me something. If I ever lose my mind, if I become someone else, don't let me suffer. Don't keep me alive out of obligation." I promised. It was easy to promise. We were young, healthy. It was theoretical. Now it's real. And I don't know what she meant. Is this suffering? She doesn't know she's lost anything. Most days she seems content, confused but not in pain. The suffering is mine. Watching her disappear, introducing myself every morning, grieving someone who's still breathing. So who am I keeping her home for? Her or me? The papers are on the table. Admission forms for Willowbrook Memory Care. All I have to do is sign. They have an opening in 2 weeks. Private room, garden access, specialized care. $8,500 a month. I'll have to sell the house to afford it. The house we raised our kids in. The house where we slow danced in the kitchen and argued about paint colors and made love and built a life. All of it goes to pay strangers to do what I've been doing. Our kids think it's the right choice. The doctors think it's the right choice. And maybe it is. Maybe I'm being selfish keeping her here, destroying myself trying to be enough. Or maybe I'm being selfish considering putting her there, in a place she won't understand, surrounded by people she'll never recognize, because I'm tired. Yesterday morning, something happened. We were having breakfast, same routine, same eggs and toast. I was telling her about our grandson, Emma's son. He's starting kindergarten. And she looked at me, really looked at me, and she said, "David," my name. She said my name. I froze. "Do you know me?" I whispered. She smiled. That smile, the smile I'm married. "Of course I know you. You're the kind man who takes care of me." And then her eyes cleared more, really cleared. "You're my husband. You've been here every day, haven't you?" I couldn't speak, just nodded. She touched my face. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I'm sorry I don't remember. I'm sorry you have to keep reminding me. You should let me go." And then, like a light switching off, she was gone again, looking at me confused. "Who are you?" I made the choice, signed the papers. She moves to Willowbrook in 3 days. I've packed her things, clothes she won't recognize, photos she won't remember.
The wedding ring she doesn't know the meaning of. I told her yesterday, sat her down, held her hands, explained that she was going to a new place where people could help take care of her. She asked why. I said, because I love you and I can't give you what you need anymore. She looked confused, asked, "Are you leaving me?" And God, that question. No, I told her, I'm never leaving you. I'm just making sure you're safe. She didn't understand. How could she? She doesn't remember that I've been here every day, that I've sacrificed everything, that I'm not abandoning her. I'm drowning. Moving day. I helped her into the car. She asked where we were going. I said, to your new home, a place where people can help you. She cried, not because she understood what was happening, but because change is terrifying when you can't remember why anything is happening. I drove slow, took the long route, past the park where we used to take the kids, the restaurant where we had our first date, the church where we got married, a tour of a life she doesn't remember. When we pulled into Willowbrook's parking lot, she grabbed my hand.
Please don't leave me with strangers, she begged. And I had to say, I'm not leaving you. I'll visit every day, I promise. She looked at me, at this stranger making promises, and whispered, okay. They got her settled in room 14, hung up the photos, put her clothes in the dresser. A nice woman named Patricia, her primary caregiver, introduced herself, spoke slowly, kindly. Hi, Sarah. I'm Patricia. I'm going to be helping you here. Is that okay? My wife nodded, smiled even, went with Patricia to see the garden, didn't look back, didn't say goodbye. Because to her, I was just the man who drove the car, not the man who spent 1,428 days reintroducing myself, not the man who gave up everything to keep her home, just someone. I stood in that room, her new room that's not our home, and felt like I'd failed the only promise that ever mattered. The drive home was 43 minutes. I counted every one. The house was empty when I got there. Really empty. Not just quiet. We'd had quiet before, but empty of purpose. Empty of the reason I wake up every morning. I walked through the rooms, saw the places I'd removed sharp objects from, the locks I'd put on the cabinets, the notes I'd hung up everywhere, all useless now. I made dinner for one, ate standing at the counter, went to bed at 8 p.m. because there was nothing else to do. And I lay there, in our bed, on my side, and I realized I lost her years ago to this disease, but today I lost the job of loving her, and I don't know who I am without it. I visit every day, 2 p.m. like clockwork. I sit with her in the garden, show her photos, tell her stories she doesn't remember. Sometimes she's calm. Sometimes she asks who I am. Sometimes she holds my hand. The staff says she's doing well, participating in activities, eating better than she did at home, making friends, though she won't remember them tomorrow. They tell me this is good, that I made the right choice, that she's getting the care she needs, and I'm getting the rest I need. But here's what they don't tell you. There's no rest from grief, no break from watching someone you love exist without you. I go home to an empty house, and I'm still just as lost. Last week, something happened. I was visiting, doing my usual routine, telling her about our grandkids, and she interrupted me. "You have a kind face," she said. "I don't know who you are, but I think you must be a good person. You come here every day. You tell me stories. You hold my hand like it matters." She smiled. "Thank you for being kind to me." And I broke, right there, in front of her, cried like a child, because she was thanking me for loving her, thanking this stranger for doing what husbands do. She looked concerned. "Why are you crying?" I wiped my eyes. Because you matter, I told her. You matter so much. She patted my hand. That's sweet, she said. And then she forgot we'd spoken at all. It's 6:47 a.m., 4 months since she moved to Willowbrook. I'm not lying in bed watching her sleep anymore. I'm alone in our house, drinking coffee, getting ready to drive across town. I'll get there at 2 p.m., I'll introduce myself, I'll tell her we're married. She'll be confused. Maybe she'll believe me, maybe she won't. And tomorrow I'll do it again, and the day after that, until the day comes when she can't even do that anymore. People ask me why I keep going, why I visit someone who doesn't know me, and I tell them because love isn't about being remembered, it's about remembering. She gave me 32 years of the most beautiful life I could have imagined. She gave me children, a home, a purpose, and now she's given me one more thing, the chance to love her without expecting anything in return. Some people call that tragedy. I call it marriage. My name is David, and this is what it means to love someone who can't love you back. You love them anyway.
For more videos, please subscribe, like, and comment.